My question to you is, I personally feel that I function more efficiently in the night than I do in the day. It's not that I've changed my biological clock or something and I sleep during the day, but it's just that I feel more productive, not only while studying, but otherwise. I feel invigorated in the night. So why is it so? Thank you.
Maybe you're in the wrong country, huh? There are three types of people who do not sleep in the night. A rogi will not sleep in the night. A rogi means a sick person because he cannot sleep. A bogi will not sleep in the night. A pleasure seeker will not sleep in the night because night is conducive for him, for his kind of business. A yogi also will not sleep in the night because for him also night is very conducive. Which one are you? You can decide, I don't want to say anything about it. Why night is? See, light, we value light because our visual apparatus are made in a certain way. What light does to you is, it makes everything distinct. See now, because it is lit, I can see this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Suppose lights went off and this became dark, I just see a mass of people. I don't see this person, this person, this person. So there is a certain sense of lack of boundaries in the night. So for yoga, for sexuality, for friendship, for being together, for study, for focus, for all these things, night seems to be more conducive because the difference between what is you and what is the other comes down in the night, simply because our visual apparatus function like this. Where there is no light, everything merges in our experience. So a yogi, a bogi and a rogi, all three of them make use of the night. You can also make use of it, there's no problem unless you're sleeping in the classroom. If you're not sleeping in the classroom, it's fine, nothing wrong with it. But you will see, you try this and see. Can I share something? I was made like this. If I sleep in the morning, normally my school used to be 8:30 in the morning. From 6:45, my mother and my sisters will start waking me up. It's a series of efforts. Many things. They'll make me sit up in the bed, they'll come and twist my arm and do this and this. My mother will do it gently, my sisters will do that. Then they will drag me and my mother will put toothpaste on the toothbrush and give it to me, I'll stick it in my mouth. She'll get me my clothes and say, go and have shower, it's time up, time up. I go inside the bathroom and fall asleep. If nobody wakes me up, till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll just sleep like a rock, not wake up and roll around, simply dead. But I started practicing yoga at the age of 12. In about maybe 8 to 9 months, after that, no matter where I am, even till this day, where I am, which time zone I am, every day I'm in a different time zone, but at 3:35, 3:40, I just come awake. Because some changes happen in the nature at that time. My body just comes awake. If I want, I can get up and do what I want. If I don't want, I can sleep some more, but it always comes awake. So you have to bring some sensitivity into the system that, see, you are a product of this planet, yes or no? Whatever nonsense individuals may think about themselves, we are all just a pop-up from this planet. You've seen those pop-ups on the computer screen? Pop, pop. Yes? You're just a pop-up, you'll be gone. You can't believe you will be gone. Ah, me? I will be gone? Yes, all the very smart people, countless number of people who walked this planet before and you and me, where the hell are they, huh? Not a sign. All became topsoil, isn't it so? Weren't they pop-ups? Aren't you a pop-up? Poop, poop. You may think you have a great life and this and that, As far as the earth is concerned, it's just recycling its soil. Just throws you up and draws you back, throws you up and draws you back. So in this little pop-up, the important thing and the most important thing is, you create sensitivity within you, such sensitivity that every dimension of life comes into your experience. Before you fall dead, is it not important? You experience this life in this fullest possible scale, yes or no? Experience means people think, we must party every day. No, same damn thing, how many times you will do? There is much more for the human life to explore. You must become sensitive. When I say sensitive, because the word sensitive is used in a wrong way, in the sense, when people say, oh, she's very sensitive, we are supposed to understand, she will get hurt for just about anything. Yes? No, being sensitive to life and being ego-sensitive are two different things. Being sensitive to life means if you walk into this hall, you experience everything that's here, you don't miss a thing. If you walk outside, you don't miss a thing, every dimension of life should come into your experience. This happened. Shankaran Pillai bought a what? He bought a work donkey. And the man who was selling the donkey said, see, this is a very sensitive donkey. You cannot beat this donkey. You cannot use bad words, you cannot abuse this donkey. Shankaran Pillai said, that's great. Every day I'm tired of beating these donkeys and abusing. Every day I have to use filthy words to get these donkeys moving. I like a sensitive donkey, and he paid little extra bonus for the sensitivity of the donkey and took it home. He left it in the barn, and tomorrow morning he has to go to work. He went there and told the donkey, please let's go. No response. He said, please, let us go. Nothing. He went down on his knees and prayed. Nothing. You're not supposed to abuse it, you're not supposed to beat it. Not knowing what to do, he went back to the man who sold the donkey. See, I requested, I pleaded, I prayed, he's not responding, what am I supposed to do? That man said, is that so? Let me see. And he came. He picked up a thick stick like this. One whack on the head. And then he threw the stick and said, come. The donkey followed. Shankaran Pillai got furious, you idiot, you said it's a sensitive donkey, and the way you hit this animal, I've never hit an animal like this in my life. He said, no, he's very sensitive, first you have to get his attention. So, developing sensitivity means, if you simply close your eyes, you must know what phase of moon it is right now, because all this is playing in your body. Every day it is playing in your system. Do you see if it's a full moon or a new moon, the entire ocean is coming up? There are tides, isn't it? You ever been to the ocean side or you don't? You do? There are tides? Yes. The whole ocean is trying to rise. 72% of your body is water. You think nothing is rising? It is. For every position of the sun, moon and many things that are happening to the planet, they're happening to you. You must become life-sensitive. Then you will know how to manage every aspect of your life. Don't become ego-sensitive, don't become society-sensitive. Life-sensitive if you become. What's happening with this life if you know this one thing all the time? You will see, you got your GPS on. There's really no problem, you will never get lost. It doesn't matter who says what kind of situations you're put into, you are never ever lost because you're life-sensitive.
Willpower is very much like a muscle, and like a muscle, it tends to get exhausted with use. However, just like the muscles, willpower can also be developed. That is the nature of this brain. If you apply it to math problems again and again, it becomes better at them. If somebody engages in juggling that portion of the brain which is engaged in juggling tends to develop. And similarly, we can develop our willpower by exerting it. So, a little bit of willpower exercise. Simple exercise, for example. The body says you need to scratch, but you desist. I will not. Now, it may seem like a small thing, but if you do it, you will discover that the willpower has started increasing. And an even more powerful way of developing the willpower. What is that? Meditation. What happens in meditation? You sit down to meditate. I will think of God, or whatever is the object of your meditation. And the mind says, no, I don't enjoy this. I would rather think of so and so. Now the intellect controls the mind. Hey, come back here. So every time the mind wants to wander off, you pull the mind back by exerting the muscle of self-control. What is the consequence? In 3 hours of meditation, you will find that your willpower has jumped many rungs. Try it and do it. And it is not even necessary that you succeed in your meditation. Because even if you are not succeeding, you are still exerting your willpower. You are every time practicing. That focus, that concentration is an application of your self-control. And self-control developed in one area of life will stand you in good stead in all the other areas. So endeavor to enhance this muscle of willpower through practices such as meditation.
How do you learn a subject or skill in half the time? Let's do this together. I want you to right now think of a subject or skill that you just want to learn fast. You want to learn it rapidly at an accelerated rate. You want to learn faster so you can achieve faster. I want you to remember 4 letters, F-A-S-T. F-A-S-T, fast. And the F stands for forget. You're like, Jim, you're this world-class memory expert. You're this coach to all these celebrities and CEOs. Why are you starting with forgetting? You want to forget what you already know about the subject so you can learn something brand new. Often a lot of people don't learn faster because they feel like their cup is full and they feel like they know it already. So always remember to start with the beginner's mind. I would also say forget about what's going on in the world and anything that's not urgent and important in your world, because if you try to think about things that are going on and be present, you can't do that. And you're only using a fraction of your own potential if you're distracted. I would also say forget about your limitations, because you don't know what you don't know. Often people see me on stage memorize 100 people's names or 100 words, numbers backwards and forwards, and I always tell you, I don't do this to impress you, I do this to express to you what's really possible, because the truth is you could do it too. Regardless your age, your background, your education, you're just not taught how to do it. If anything, you were taught a lie that somehow your intelligence, your memory, your learning is somehow fixed like your shoe size. But we know that your learning is absolutely limitless. So set your limitations aside and forget about them. The A in FAST stands for active. What do I mean by active? If you feel overloaded with too much to learn in too little time, like do you have books on your shelf you haven't read yet? You get more than 10 emails a day, you listen to podcasts, there's so much information out there. But if you feel like you're stressed, like you can't keep up, here's the thing, it's not your fault. You know why? It's because we all grew up with the 20th century education that prepared us for a 20th century world, which at the turn of the century was working in factories and farms. But now we live in an age of autonomous electric cars and spaceships that are going to Mars. But our vehicle of choice when it comes to learning is like a horse and buggy. And one of the challenges is our schools train us to be very passive. Sit quietly by yourself, be lectured to, just consume information. But your brain doesn't learn based on consumption, it learns through creation. And so learning is not a spectator sport. You have to get involved. You have to take great notes. You have to ask lots of questions. There's so many things you could do to be more active. The S in FAST stands for state. What do I mean by state? I mean the current mood of your mind and your body. Because here's the key to a better memory. Information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. Information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. What do I mean by that? Is there a song or a fragrance or a food that could take you back to when you were a child? Of course, because information combined with that emotion becomes a long-term memory. The challenge back in school is, what was the driving emotion you had back in school? For most people, they were bored, right? And if you times anything by 0, what do you get? You get 0. So most people don't remember what they learned back in school because of the state. Remember this, all learning is state dependent. All learning is state dependent. That if you want to learn more, control your state. Now, who's in control of your state? You are, because you are a thermostat, you're not a thermometer. What do I mean by that? What does a thermometer do? A thermometer reacts to the environment. It reflects what the environment is giving it. And so we are all thermometers at some point, and that affects our state, right? We react to the weather, we react to the economy, we react to how people treat us. But in reality, where's the locus of focus? Who has the control? You do, because you're a thermostat. A thermostat is different, right? A thermostat sets a vision, it sets a goal, it sets a standard. And what happens to the environment? The environment raises to meet that thermostat. And for you, you want to identify with the thermostat, and the most important thing that you want to have control over is how you feel. I remember recently I got to introduce 2 of my superheroes together. I talk about superheroes because I grew up with learning challenges from a brain injury. I taught myself how to read. It took me 3 years longer to learn how to read. I taught myself how to read by reading comic books late at night. Something about the superhero story really brought it to life for me. And recently I got to introduce 2 of my superheroes together. It was Sir Richard Branson and Stan Lee. Stan Lee, not Stanley, Stan Lee, the co-creators of Spider-Man, Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four. And I remember asking Stan Lee, I said, Stan, who's your favorite superhero? And he says, Iron Man. He says, Jim, who's your favorite superhero? And he had this Spider-Man tie. I posted on Instagram, and I was like, Spider-Man. And without a pause, he went, with great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. You've heard that, right? And I went to him, I said, Stan, you're right. With great power comes great responsibility. And the opposite is also true. With great responsibility comes great power. When we take responsibility for something, we have great power to make it better. And I think the most important responsibility we have is controlling how we feel. How do you get into that state of curiosity, of excitement? I mean, who are the fastest learners on the planet? They're children, right? Children have this wonder. One of my favorite quotes is from Rumi. Says, trade your cleverness for bewilderment. Trade your cleverness for bewilderment. And finally, the T in fast, if you want to learn any subject or skill faster, learn it as if you're going to teach it to somebody else. Because when you're learning it to teach it, then you're going to pay attention differently. Then you're going to make it your own. Then you're going to remember it differently. Because here's the thing, when you teach something, you get to learn it twice.